This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, Shane. Can you hear me?
Todd, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Amazing. I'm not able to see you. I'm not sure if it's something wrong with my camera.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, but I still cannot see you.
All right, let me figure out the video here.
Sure, no worries.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, now we're good.
How's life?
Hi, Simon.
How's life?
Life is good. It's a little rainy out, but otherwise fine.
Amazing. Where you calling from? Where you based?
I'm based in Eugene, Oregon.
I have no idea where that is. As you
That
can
is,
tell.
Oregon is the state north of California.
Okay. Is it by the coast?
About 60 miles from the coast.
Okay. So what's the name of the city?
Eugene. It's spelled like the man's name, Eugene.
Eugene. Would you recommend me to come and visit there?
What do you like to do?
Be in a place where it's quiet.
Well, let's see if I can sum it up. It's a college town. It's we'll call it a medium-sized town, a small
Mhm.
city. There's a lot of, it's easy to get around in Eugene, and there's a lot of wilderness in Oregon that's easy to get to from Eugene. I live maybe, a few blocks from a fairly major river, which you can go canoeing, kayaking, rafting. So for the outdoors, yeah, terrific. And it's not big if you're into city life. I wouldn't say it's a big city kind of environment, but it's a lot of college students, so it's fairly hip place, a nice place to be.
Right. I'm in London, so I don't want to be surrounded by many people when I go on vacation.
I think probably it's a good place because big cities in the US can be enormous and kind of
Yeah,
difficult to get around. So Eugene is a good place to just, if you're visiting the US and you want to see a lot of beautiful things, I'd say Eugene's
absolutely.
a good place to start.
How do you like it then? Have you been there for since you were a
I've been
child?
living here for since 2005, so quite a long time now.
Right, right. 2005.
Pardon me?
You said 2005.
Yeah, that's a ways.
Almost 20 years. Turning.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a
yeah,
lot.
we own a home here. We chose it specifically because it was bike friendly. I mean, for the US, bike friendly. Um, Transit system is pretty good for the US. It's actually pretty good. It's small enough to get around, but it's big enough to have stuff that you need.
Right.
So, you get into Portland and it's much more of a big city place. It's really beautiful. There's a lot of things to do, but it's big.
Nice.
Um, so we didn't really want to be in that kind of place.
So you can get yourself busy if you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somehow. Okay, cool. Now, as much as I would like to talk about your town and what you guys do there, obviously we have a mission here, which is for you to understand more about the program and the mentorship that we have here. And for me, will be to understand more about you, because as much as we want to help everyone with the experience that we have, we know that YouTube is not for everybody. And so I would like you to be as transparent as possible.
Mhm.
And then if we believe, both of us, that this is a good fit for you, I can walk you through the next steps.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to ask you is, are you thought going to start a YouTube channel on your own, or is going to be someone else involved into this? Maybe friends,
At this time, it'd
your
just be me.
just yourself, yeah? Okay. The only reason why I'm asking you this is because sometimes people want to do this with a business partner or friends and family and stuff like that. But if it's just,
Yeah, no, I don't want to make it complicated.
okay, keep it simple, yeah?
Yeah, simple's good.
Simple is good. Fantastic. So I'm curious, like, what brought you in this call in the first place? What are you trying to get here?
I've been, I'll be right back. I'll be just a moment.
Sure.
I've been, I don't know, you might say I've been looking at online businesses for quite a long time. And I've had my attempts, similar to Shane in the sense of, hey, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. And in the last year or two, I've been looking at it very seriously as how can I create income that isn't me going to a job.
Right.
And so I've had a bit of experience with YouTube, just putting stuff online. I think I am relatively well spoken in the sense of I can be in front of a camera and be glib and make my point. Um, I have been doing content creation by writing on Medium because I wanted to just start putting
Writing
stuff,
on?
making stories and publishing.
On a book.
No, it's actually a kind of like a blog format.
Oh, okay.
It's called Medium, Midium.com, and I'm there under TLX Read. Um, you can see some of my stuff. It's also paywalled, but I'm definitely on there. I'm publishing regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And so writing is a way to create online content. Um, and as an adjunct to that, I was like, okay, um, I think I could make a run at doing YouTube because I'm on YouTube all the time, just like Shane. I'm like on it every day, going, what can I
Right.
learn? And I also see how people fail. Some people I really like. Some people present well. Some people, their stuff is, boring or it's terrific. So I've investigated a few different businesses around creating content, like ghostwriting was one. Um, I think I looked at another opportunity which I just decided not to pursue. Um, and I've been listening to Shane's remote work videos, and I went to his last YouTube or his online Zoom session. So I thought, well, this is actually on my blueprint for content creation is YouTube channel, something I want to investigate and possibly do. Um, so here we are.
For how long have you been following Shane Todd?
I think I saw his video for the first time maybe 6 months ago,
Okay.
and you know, like any project, you got to draw a bead, you got to figure out what's going on. I've been collecting, like, hey, here's all these jobs. These are instant jobs. I don't really want another job.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, and then after I went to his um, Zoom session, I realized, oh, he's actually teaching YouTube. He's teaching
How to
content creation.
monetize?
Yeah.
I'm still not understanding though. Like, what's the objective of this call here?
Well, for me, it's about finding out how the course works and what are the terms and what do you or what does this course think that a person participating needs to provide to be successful. So that's kind of what I showed up to find out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's it take? What's the time frame? What tools do you need? How does the school work? So this is just informational for me at this point.
Right. And so, have you made a decision in your mind that YouTube is something that you want to do, or is just about knowing What
Well,
would
I have it
you
on
go
my goal. You might say I have it on my goal list to do YouTube content creation. That is a goal I've decided to do. A
when was it?
method by which I do that, I have not yet really created or made a decision on.
When did you put
Like I
that
could,
as a goal?
yeah, YouTube content creation.
Yeah,
Like
but
I get up.
when did you decided that that was one of your goals?
Well, as a written down goal, it's been there for a couple of months now.
So what stopped you from doing it? Because YouTube is free, everyone can go and create a channel over there.
Well, I've created a series of videos that I thought would be interesting um, for a niche that I could pursue. But I technically don't have the skill set, and I hesitate to start a um, business or an endeavor that is going to be a frustrating experience where I don't understand. Like nobody wants to do something that they don't really understand how to do it effectively. Um, I can upload a bunch of YouTube videos, and maybe I should. You know, I probably have something on the order of 200 or 300 hours of videos of me um, recording myself in a niche I think people might be interested in. But I don't know because I haven't done any
The niche.
SEO work.
What's the niche you're talking about?
For me, it'd be fitness videos,
Fitness. Okay.
and because presumably it'd be an older audience because I'm a little older. It's not. Wouldn't be targeting 20-year-olds, but you know,
Uh,
it's anyone who wants to.
if I
Get,
ask you this, what do you think has been the three biggest challenges that came across into your journey on YouTube that stopped you from posting those videos and uploading those videos?
well, like I said, it would be one about process. It's like I could take like here's a bunch of raw video. Um, if you really want to have a decent video, you need to add titles. You need to edit it. It needs to be in a format that someone watching it can consume. You know, and
Yeah.
hopefully enjoy doing so. You don't want it to be boring. You don't want it to be tedious. You don't want to see obvious mistakes. And so the process from here's this clip I just took to here's this video ready to roll is, well, there's a technical thing to do. That's job one, you know, like, and then you've got to get it on YouTube. You have to have a keyframe. You have to have some SEO in place and publish. So that's an endeavor. It's not like I don't have tools, right? Like I've got editing tools and this and that, but still I don't really have like nobody wants to spend 2 weeks working on a video,
Right.
right? You know, they want to spend a couple hours, 2 to 4
But are you
hours.
saying that you're missing the expertise to post
Yeah,
those?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not like I'm not a technical person because I am a technical person. I'm just not particularly experienced in taking raw video clips,
Right.
making them into a YouTube finished product. I'm not
So
really.
if we show you some practical step and a system for you to have all of this ready,
Yeah.
I guess how much would this be worth in terms of time for you? How much time would that save you instead of you going and figure it out yourself?
Well, I'd probably say something like, if I was to sit down now and say, here's this content for a day, and I want to assemble it, I need to edit it, you know, make it tight, make it watchable, throw up some subtitles or titles or whatever makes it, you know, a little bit interesting,
Mhm.
right? That's going to take me upwards of, let's call it 4 to 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours. Let's say that's probably realistic, maybe longer, you know, because I don't know. Um, Whereas if I knew what I was doing and I had a process in place, maybe that's an hour or two. It's going to
Okay,
take me
hold on a
considerably
moment.
longer.
You said to me that you have about 200 to 300 hours of video ready.
Yeah, well, they're not ready. They're raw footage.
Okay. And so if it takes you only 8 to 10 hours to figure it out, how to have this video ready, 8 to 10 hours is nothing in a week or in a month. Why don't you just do it?
Well, I'll use my my writing process as an example. So I'm writing now daily, right? You with me?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So here I am. I've been wanting to write and publish for a long time. So there's a process involved in that, and there's procrastination, where maybe you don't want to do the work, or you put it off, or it's easier not to. So publishing, because you're putting yourself out in a public way. Yeah, you got to get over your whatever your personal hump is. So my personal hump was, okay, I've got to sit down every day and write. I have to sit down and edit, and then I have to publish. And I had to set a goal. I was going to do that, and I was going to create the time for that to happen. Right? So I actually have an hour every day, and I actually have accountability with a community I go to where I say I'm doing this, and every day I check in and say I did this today. So in the course of we'll say it's 60 days now, maybe longer, but we'll call it 60 days. I can point to all these stories I've written and published because I said, I've got to do this. And, writing in itself doesn't seem hard, but there are technical things you got to figure out. So I did, the first time took me for, I don't know, 2 hours, 4 hours. Now it takes me about an hour or two. So I had to get through that. So I had to set the stage. Does that make sense? Like you've got this project, you have accountability, you have time set aside, and now I'm in a productive process. Boom, 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 boom. And every day I get a little better. And I've been repeating this for, I don't know, 60 days. You can go on medium.com and see all I published. And so video is the same kind of problem. I have to set up a productive process. I have to make accountability. I have to set aside the time I'm going to do that. And now it's just, okay, now I got to tell myself, no matter what, I'm going to put that video up on YouTube and get over my fear or embarrassment about making a public statement about being online, right? That's also
This is
a
where
bit
a
of a,
coach comes in place to help you.
yeah. I mean, I'm still going to be on my community. It's a useful tool for me where I say,
Right.
today I spent 1 hour doing this thing, and it's like a gold star for attendance.
You seem to me like you're pretty busy, Todd, with this writing hobby that you have. But what about your occupation? What do you do for work? What's your job?
I work at a bicycle manufacturer here in Eugene.
You work in a
It's a
what? Sorry?
bicycle manufacturer.
Bicycle manufacturer. Okay.
You can look them up, bikefriday.com.
And do you work in a warehouse? What's your
I'm in a factory. I'm an IT worker. I work
IT?
in computer support.
Okay.
I do shipping. I do inventory. I kind of
Right.
do a lot of things.
Does your job
So
demands you a lot of hours, long hours?
no, not really. It's 4 days a week now.
Oh wow, that's very good. Okay.
Yeah. I am essentially wanting to replace my employment income with outside income.
Sure.
And
How much would you need to replace that?
well, let's just say I would love to make 5,000 a month, and I would probably quit if I could dependably do that, for sure, because I would have replaced that income entirely.
Okay. Cool. 5K. I like that goal. That's how much you would need to quit your
Yeah.
job?
If I thought I could sit down and go, I'm making 5K a month, I don't need to go into this place anymore,
Okay.
done.
Now, just to see the rationale into this thought and to see if it can actually work for you. Our students, they come to us for one of those 3 reasons. The first one is because they want to feel free and they want to leave a job which they are not satisfied, they don't see they bring in any value. The second one will be being able to decide and have choices in their life.
Yep.
The other one will be they want to make more money.
hmm
Which one is it true for you?
Well, they're all true. I very much, at this stage in my life, I could quit, right? But my income would go down, by that amount.
Mhm.
But I could quit and be just fine. So my expenses have gone down quite a bit in the last year.
Right.
And I'm suddenly going, okay, what can you do now to create freedom for yourself? Because I very much like to travel, just like Shane is doing. I very much like
Of
being able
course.
to have income that is not dependent on me selling my time
Absolutely.
in a box, every day. That's just the reality. Um, I would like to be able to determine how and where and why I work. So freedom to choose, decision, make my own decisions. And obviously money's a big factor, I mean, I have to be pretty careful with my budgeting, live within my means, and it's hard to make decisions I want to make because of that. Um,
So all of those are true for you, right?
oh yeah, oh yeah, very much.
But then what happens if you don't take action and you don't do anything about increasing your income, creating more freedom for yourself, and ultimately being able to leave your job? What happens?
Well, I am taking action. Like I'm taking action talking to you, and I'm creating content. And I made a conscious decision that, as you point out, and many people will, it's like there's a difference between wanting to take action and taking action.
Absolutely.
So one of the reasons I'm writing is to take action, create a public image, put out my creative energy in some format, and be in a process that is productive. It may not
Right.
be my final, like, I don't know if in 6 months or a year I will continue to write, but I will be publishing in some way. I'll be creating content. This is sort of like an experiment.
Sure.
Writing is kind of cool. I like being able to do that. It's very educational. Um, but YouTube is a way of publishing. It's another way of doing that.
The only difference is that you have to record yourself, as you said before.
This is true.
That's the only difference. Okay, so in terms of time, because obviously this is going to require some time on your hand,
hmm
we need anywhere between 4 to 10 hours a week. Is that doable for you?
Um, the way I would put it is something like if you like like um like right now I have let's say an hour mapped out where I am accountable for and I make time for it.
Mhm.
So in order to do this process, I have to map out that hour and be accountable for it. So my process for doing that would be to say, okay, every night when I get home, the first thing I do will be to spend a minimum of a half hour on this process, and I'm accountable for that. So what I've learned is that you don't always achieve the goal you want in one session, but you can put in the time, right? Because if you don't put in the time, you never get there. So I'm a
Absolutely.
lot more focused on putting in time and doing that consistently than I am on saying, oh, I'm going to make a viral video today. You know, I'm just going to put in the time and do what needs to be done with the time I have. So, yes, I think so very much. I'd be using the tools I'm building now to create accountability. I have a commitment. The commitment is X. That means I need to put in that
Right.
time every day. In fact, it's a lot easier to do it every day, or let's say 6 days of the week, than it is to do it at random intervals. Like, hey, I'm going to try to shove 4 to 10 hours in somewhere this week. I'd be like, okay, what you're really asking me is, can you do this daily as part of your daily routine so you get this done and get results?
Right.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. And then why would you specifically want to do this now instead of, for example, 6 months, 1 year, or even 3 years from now?
Um, Time has a way of just going by, and we're only here for a while. And waiting isn't really on my agenda right now, unless there was some real reason to do that. There is a consideration that you can do too many things at once.
Mhm.
That I made this commitment about writing. It's a reasonable thing to do. Um, I would definitely have
By
to
the way,
consider.
is writing bringing you money already?
No, no. I mean, pittance, pennies,
How
nothing really.
much?
We're talking a cup of coffee, or
Oh, wow.
this is not an income source. It can be a very lucrative thing
So
to do. And
let's pretend for a moment you start doing this YouTube,
okay,
and within the first month we can get you to 1K. Would
that'd
you
be
at the
outrageous, I
moment
guess.
dedicate all of your effort towards YouTube, or you will still spend your time on writing, which is paying you 2 coffees a month, maybe a month, or maybe in a year,
Um,
I don't know.
what I'd probably do is reverse my priorities, and because I made a commitment, I would probably reverse that, and I would say, okay, my hour a day, we'll call it my sacred hour,
Mhm.
is now about video, and that would be number one. And I'd probably still do my writing, but I would make it, let's say, a half hour in the afternoon. Wouldn't want to drop my commitment,
Right.
but I would refocus it, um, because if that were true, like in a month, I could do that. That'd be terrific, and I would absolutely want to have that chance. Um, Building an audience from writing is definitely something I enjoy doing, but it might actually be something that works better if you have the audience, right? Like you're like a YouTube viewership or an email list or whatever you're doing.
Well, that's actually one of the main goals that we have, and the first step on our program, which is help you identify the best niche for you to
Right.
produce content. I want to share my screen with you, Todd, and
Sure. Go ahead.
show you pretty much what the program and the mentorship is about. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, you can take some notes, which perfect, can help you. All right, let me see when you can see my screen.
Yep.
So,
Good to go.
what I will recommend and suggest in your case is our Content Growth Engine, which is a 6-month mentoring program. Now, as it is
Could you repeat that, Simone?
6 months mentoring program.
Okay, 6 months.
Yeah. And is a mentoring program based on the fact that we're giving you weekly calls with the coaches. Now,
Okay.
specifically, this is going to be 5 group calls a week with yourself, other students, and the coaches. And
Could I ask about that? Did you say 5 group calls per week?
correct.
Okay, wow, that's a lot.
And
That's fine.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm like, wow, that's some serious energy for sure.
We want you to get results. We don't want to mess
Mhm.
around. And so
Mhm.
practical steps.
Okay.
Because on top of those group sessions, we also give you a personalized plan, which is having 2 one-to-one a month with the coaches. And I want to ask you, why do you believe those one-to-one sessions are important as well?
I would assume a one-to-one would be to get like really specific input on my situation and
Absolutely.
get specific tips that would really apply to my own process. And I may
Absolutely.
have things that I'm hung up on or things I don't understand, or why don't you tweak or adjust this?
Yeah.
So I think like having one person saying, hey, you should go do this and here's how you do it would be kind of helpful.
And not only that, we're doing this because your channel is going to be different than someone else.
Hmm.
And so we need to give you practical tools and the right accountability that you need based on your skill set and based on the challenges that you have.
Okay.
Because you might be struggling with something that someone else is not even experiencing in the first place. And so That's how we go about the coaching side of it.
Okay.
And on top of this, as you said that you've never done YouTube before, correct?
I have uploaded some videos.
But that's never
But
been on a professional level, trying to make money with it. Just
they were
uploading.
for a business, not my business. They were for the company I work for. I did create some videos. I won't say they were particularly high end or anything like it, but they do exist and they're still on YouTube. And it's just me narrating products and
Okay.
saying, "Hey, this is cool," and what have you. There weren't that many of them, but at least they are there.
It's not you talking about yourself or sharing something about
No.
you, right?
Nope.
And so how we have to go by starting, growing, and making money with a YouTube channel is by first thing first, building the foundation, which is figuring out the niche.
Okay.
Because from the very beginning, we want to know who is your client avatar. If we don't have that, it's pointless for us to record videos in the first place.
Indeed.
So as soon as we onboard you, we want to jump on a call with you to understand and define the niche. That's
Okay.
number one priority. Knowing who is the client avatar. What are you going to say to these people? What type of language do you have to use to those people? Because those people, they have to see you as an expert in what you're talking about.
Very true.
Okay?
And you need to be a starving audience.
Absolutely. Because our goal also is for those content to be searchable over time. In 7 years, in 6 months, in 12 months from now, if someone types something that is related within your niche, your video is going to pop up because we use tools and we use systems for the content to be searchable over time. In the script, in the audio that you're saying, what are you saying, in the description of the video, okay?
Keywords, keyframes.
Absolutely. SEO, everything is going to be there. And then the next part of the program is once we're creating content, we have to go and monetize those content. Now, I know you went through the live event a couple of days ago, but can you take a guess on how we make money with YouTube, if you remember?
Well, I would assume there's like direct monetization. There is monetization from YouTube directly, but I don't
Yes?
think you were actually doing ad sales or, if I have enough viewership, YouTube will pay me directly.
That's
I would
true,
think
but
that a
it's
lot
not
of
the
it,
main goal.
I would think the main goal would be to basically get them into other channels where you can sell them more effectively. So email lists, merchandise,
Correct.
courses are a big one.
Yeah.
So basically, you're building authority so you can then say, hey, if you want to know more about this topic, here's my PDF, here's
Absolutely.
my coursework. If you really like me, here's my merchandise,
Yeah.
and so forth. So you have all these multiple channels that people can go, I like, trust, and want to do business with you, click to buy.
So affiliate link, that's the first
So,
way to help you make the first quick money. You advertise a product or a service of someone else in the first place. And then meanwhile, we create your own product or service, we start marketing this product and service, which is where you make the most amount of money because you don't have to share nothing with nobody. It's just your money. And we identify this product and service for you together.
Okay.
Also,
So
we make money with the advert that YouTube is going to place on your channel at a specific time.
So out of curiosity, when Shane is doing his remote work videos, does he have affiliate links to other companies that are bringing him income? I'm sure he must.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely does. And he also has ownership and shares from other companies that invested in the past.
Okay.
And the next part, once we, and by the way, you mentioned to me before, Todd, something like how to do the thumbnails, the titles, the intro, the script, how to find the right script. Everything is going to be covered in the program for you to go and do it. But then if at any point you don't want to do this part of the job anymore, we can introduce you to people who can do it for you. Okay? So hiring a video editor, hiring a guy who can do the thumbnails, hiring a guy who is going to do the script writing for you and is going to find the script in the first place for you. It's something that we can support you with, because we understand that you want to be and you have to be the business owner who manages his business and has people who are doing the job for you. YouTube is a business like any other business out there, if we treat it as a business. And so we need to use the leverage of other people and the support of other people and their skills. So this is the support that we're giving you as well. Using the tools and using the system that Shane is using in his channel, which is going to be shared with you as well. The last part will be giving you access to a community on Discord. Have you ever heard about it?
I have definitely been on School, and I use it fairly often. In fact,
It's not the
almost
same.
daily.
Discord is completely different. So what we do on Discord is
Oh, on Discord. Yeah, I've been on Discord.
fantastic. So all of our students, they have a personal and private channel with the coaches. Everything that you see here on the left-hand side of my screen, those are all channel with our students and our coaches. And
So
you
all these
have your channel as well.
Are all these people, they're kind of like current students, right? And so this is not everyone who's gone through your school.
It's everyone who is with us.
Oh, from the when you first started doing this to now, they're all on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
correct.
Okay.
There are people who, after 6 months, they still want to be part of the community. And there's a small minority of people who just simply went on their own.
So some of the folks I've seen on testimonials, they may be right here with their own channel, and I could say, hey, I thought what you did was cool, and ask them a question. And
if they are not here, they will be on another tier of our programs, because we have different type of tiers, which obviously, and ultimately, as you progress, you might be able to switch and to change the trajectory of your business as we bring in more money, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say to you is that the way of us giving you more accountability is by creating a private channel with the coaches and yourself, where they ask questions, they share information, you ask them questions. Everything is going to be tracked on this specific platform for everyone to have access and see where you are.
So you're not using, say, like school.com as your teaching channel, or you are?
School is for the teaching, exactly, for you to learn about the program, and then Discord is for communication.
So school is lessons and content and
correct. Yeah,
like watching videos about how to do this or that. Okay.
Absolutely, exactly. It's the educational part of it. And then the practical side of it is going to be on Discord.
Okay.
Now, I don't have anything else to share with you. One thing I want to ask you is this. Do you feel like what we're doing here could be the answer that you're looking for?
Well, I certainly like the fact that you said in 1 month we would hope or think we would get you to 1,000 a month. I mean, that's definitely an optimistic and potentially very realistic thing to do. I'm not going to get there writing in the way I'm currently am. So I'm
gonna get some coffees maybe.
Yeah, you're right. If they ever actually pay me, which they haven't yet.
So how do you feel about the program?
So far, so good. It's been informative talking to you. You've been very direct and real. I have basically shown myself I can take on a challenge by doing writing and maintain it over time. So I'm more inclined now to do something like this than I would have been 6 months ago, because I would have been looking at am I actually going to show up? And if so, why or why not? And a lot of it is just habit and process. So that all makes sense to me in the sense of I can change my priorities and it can make this happen in terms of time, attention, and showing up.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. I would just say to you that probably so far you've been in the wrong vehicle, which is not giving you money yet.
This is true. I haven't found the right vehicle correct. Yeah.
Now, does the program make sense to you in the first place? Like, do you see yourself going through it with our support and getting the results that you would like to get?
When I listen to Shane, he makes a lot of sense to me, and he doesn't really he just puts it in a very down to earth manner. It's not difficult to understand the terms involved. Um, I doubt the school wants to make any overt promises to me about income
Mhm.
because you can't know what a student's going to do. However, I know I can sit down and do the work and do it consistently.
Right.
He did make an overt statement like, you do the work and we guarantee we'll refund you if you're not getting the results we think you should be getting, if you're doing what we're telling you to do.
Absolutely.
So I'm good with that. You know, that all makes sense to me.
That's in place, by the way. We have a
Mhm.
refund policy, or we work with you until you get results. We have two options in this.
Okay.
Before we talk about the investment, Todd, I want to ask you something else. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being, I don't like this, I don't think it's right for me. 10 being, I do believe you guys can help me, I'm ready for it, I want to do it. Where are you? And be realistic and honest.
Okay. Let's be realistic and honest. Um, when opportunities come up, um, like I don't know how many times you have tried opportunities, Simone, like, you know, like on the internet, there's always like, hey, make big money fast, right?
Of course.
Landing page, your Twitter, you know, your affiliate will explode, 1999. You know, I've been down a few of those roads, and I've also made some big investments where I thought, great business, wrong business model for me, you know, in terms of what it can actually do. And I realize now I can only do what I understand. And since I don't understand something, I won't do it. I have to have the training. I have to have a team. I have to have a methodology that makes sense to me so I can just go, okay, boom, 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 just like building building something in your backyard. You know, you have to have a
Like a bike.
plan. Yeah, exactly. You not got to know what to do. You can't just wing it. So I went at my writing project in that manner. I found uh, I'm not really like I'm not in a school for that. I'm not paying anyone. I just joined a community and I have another free community for being accountable. And I'm like, okay, proof of output. You know, you can do this. And video has always been really appealing to me. So the question would be, it's not can I do it? It's like how can I set it up to win instead of setting it up to fail. And setting up to fail would be, oh, I just spent a lot of money. I don't know if this will actually work. I haven't really made a time commitment. And, you know, so in terms of us and 1 to 10, let's just say your credibility is high. Um, money always has a risk aversion attached, right? Big output, risk aversion, what if I fail, kind of things like that. So that detracts points. It's like, okay, well, that's a couple of points right there. I'm risk averse. Um, so I'll give it an 8. I'll give it a 7, 8. And that I feel confident about you guys. What you're doing is real, that you can get real results, that you've made realistic promises to me that are attractive. And there's obviously things to do there. It's not never a perfect world,
Right.
right? There's
What
never
could
a
make it
perfect
a
world.
10 though? I'm curious. Because so far it seems to me like the program and what you've seen so far, it ticks all the boxes on your hand, with as well the refund policy.
Well, your school is like a black box to me now, right? Where I just see the outside. I can't see what's inside.
Yeah,
So it's hard for me to say it's a 10 until I see the inside of the box. And that's how I think about these kinds of opportunities. Till you see what's in there and you're actually in there doing it, how do you know?
Mhm.
Another gotcha or a sort of thing would be, what's my niche? So when I know what that niche is, and I see that it could be very profitable, like I've shown it to myself using the correct tools, then I'll be a 10. But I won't actually know that till I'm in the box and I have the
Absolutely.
tools. So that's why I don't give it a 10, because until I know my niche and I say, oh, okay, this is cool. Not only do I, this is a match between what I can do and what people really want. And I can make content based on that until I actually know what that is. It's hard for me to say, oh, yeah, I'm totally down with it, because it's like there's still a process to follow there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I can accept that.
Okay. I understand what you want. I just have to say that's what's actually
Absolutely.
goes on in my head.
Do you have any question about the program, or is there anything else that is not clear before we talk about the investment?
I think I get the idea. I guess what I don't understand at this point would be something like, how much do people spend on software and equipment and technical stuff? And, maybe they don't spend much at all, or
Good
maybe it's
question.
$1,000 for a camera.
That is not relevant by any means, because obviously, as we want you to start building your channel from the ground up, everything that you have right now is still good for people to trust you,
Okay.
right? They don't have to see that you have a fancy camera of $2,000 or $3,000. That
Yep.
makes sense, because they are going to relate to you, not the equipment that you have.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep.
But the coaches later on are going to tell you and give you advices if you really want to buy a new camera, a better microphone, perhaps you want to use a different software and stuff like
Sure.
that. But
Okay.
nothing needed to start, I would say.
Okay. I have reasonable equipment now. It's nothing
Absolutely.
special.
Absolutely. Should we talk about investment?
Yes, please.
Fantastic. Actually, I want to do this. Let's play a little game, because
Okay.
you said to me that you are in some communities.
Yeah.
Some of them are free, some of them you paid some money. So
Okay.
let's take a guess. How much do you think is the program that we are talking about here?
Well, I heard Shane say something like 1,600 to 5 or 6,000. That
Mhm.
was his statement, so I'm going to assume it's in that range. Based on what I've seen and I've, like the school, I can only suppose school.com provides a system for people to build a business and then resell it as a business for others. Because I've been through a couple of
Mhm.
these, like ghostwriting, and I'd have to look up the other one, but I did talk to a gentleman where I was like, okay, this sounds interesting.
Right.
So the investment was for both of those was on the area of $5,000 or $6,000. So I'll just put it in the middle. Let's say it's $3,000.
I want you to take the elevator and go slightly higher.
Okay, let's say it's $4,500.
Slightly higher.
A little higher. Okay, let's say it's $5,000.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
For everything that I covered to you, the 6 months, the group calls, the
Yep.
one-to-one session, the community on Discord and on school, we're talking about 5K. How do you feel about this?
In a way, I've kind of had that in my head, so it kind of confirms somehow in my mind. I was thinking it was going to be that number. So it isn't let's just say I have the money and it's my money and I don't have to scrabble for it. It's there.
Hmm?
So I'm okay with that.
Shall we
It's
move
not,
forward?
it's not, yeah, it's not really I'm not gonna break the bank. I'm not gonna lie awake nights. Nobody wants
Maybe
to take
you
it.
can buy few coffees.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I can buy a few coffees.
So what's the
That's
next
good.
step, Todd? Should we move forward?
Uh, what is the next step?
We'll be finalizing the investment and giving you access to the platform. Community, Discord, school, everything.
Okay. While it may seem like procrastination, it is also kind of like I need to basically tell my partner, like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. I think it's a good choice. This is my money to spend, and it doesn't cost us anything for me to do this. It's
Right.
not like I'm taking it out of our piggy bank and you'll be like, oh my God, you know. And it's also a good thing that people know what you're doing. So let's just say that sitting here talking to you right now, my intention is yes, I'm going to do this. Um, but I also want to talk to my partner and just say, look, here's what I'm planning on doing. I think this is a good investment for me. And I don't want to spend 2 years earning coffee, you know, for my writing. If I can get 1,000 times that, you know, if
Hmm.
I, you know, really build up an income by by putting in the time, just doing it on this
Right.
and on this process. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with where we're at right now with this.
I'm curious, why shouldn't we just move forward? That way, the caliber of the conversation that you're going to have with your partner will be, I made a decision to change our life by building a business on YouTube instead of thinking about doing it. Because the refund policy will still be here. So regardless of you having a chat with them and they say no, or regardless of you having a chat with them and they say yes.
Okay, then I'll put it this way. If you give me the option of withdrawing for, let's say, 7 days, right? And it's a refund policy, I'll say yes and move forward.
Right.
Because it's just sort of like, let's call it mental parachute, safety net. Like it's a big investment. Obviously, I'm kind of like, oh my God, you know, I got to like, okay, I just gonna do this. Um, I would like that mental safety net about, okay, because I'm going to talk to my partner. I got to, you know, I guess you're going to give me access to the school. I got to basically think through how my life is going to change now as a result. And it won't be huge changes, but, you know, I'll just be kind of like diverting energy into another pattern.
It would
Um,
just be you knowing what to prioritize on.
yes,
You
yeah,
mentioned to me before.
I'm gonna add this priority. It's going to be number one.
Right.
And now I got to take other priorities and go, those can wait. If I'm making 1,000 a month at the end of 30 days, it would be like thumbs up, good to go. And I'm not predicating that decision, right? Like there's some guarantee,
Right.
but you think it's a reasonable and something that's reasonably can be accomplished by doing this process.
What I mentioned to you is the guarantee that we have, it goes above for 7 or 15 days. It's a 6 months. And so
Okay.
for 6 months, we want you to work with us. So
Sure.
why do you even want to limit yourself by saying, you know what, I'm gonna pull out within 7 days of
Yeah.
knowing
Look,
how this is, if it makes sense.
you understand the mindset involved, right? Like I'm just trying to cover my
I
yeah,
totally understand, but
yeah.
if you want to commit to something,
You
you
just got to
commit.
get all in.
Exactly. You don't commit only for 7 days just to taste the water.
Yeah. I hear it. Okay, let's say yes.
Should we go ahead?
Yep. Let's go ahead.
Let me send you a link on the chat.
So are we doing a transaction right now where I'm going to go ka-ching?
I'll send you a link for you to finalize the investment, and you just need your debit or credit cards to settle that.
Okay.
And then as soon as it clears on our hands, I'm gonna send you a invoice Sorry,
So,
receipt?
Simone,
Yes.
question for you.
Sure.
So this is a question I always have for the people that sell these programs. What are you doing? Like, why are you here instead of building your YouTube channel? Kind of a trick question.
Myself?
Yeah.
So my experience and my knowledge and expertise comes from a recruitment industry. And so I'm the account manager here for Shane. I
Oh, okay.
basically select the people who we believe we can get result in the first place.
hmm Okay, interesting.
Nothing
you're
to
kind
do
of
with the YouTube channel.
so you're kind of looking at the psychology of the person you're talking to and saying, they're going to stick with this. Are they going to show up and make sure that
And
your time?
the expertise and how they come across. Now,
hmm
to me, you seem like someone who is very talkative, but at the same time, also very logical individual. And
hmm
so you want to see the step before you
hmm
walk the steps.
This is true.
And so by us giving you 5 coaches who are going to work with you, this is going to give you confidence to go and execute.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
The coaches are all have their active YouTube channels, I would think.
2 of them, yes.
Mhm.
There is another one who is a business coach, and there is another one who is a script writing coach. And then there is Shane as well. So 3 of them have YouTube.
Okay. And so there's no real way to see inside the box unless you just get in there and do it. So I'm prepared to do that.
That's everything in life, isn't it?
hmm Yeah. Yeah. You just got to get in there and do it. I will not win by not doing it. I will only win by actually getting to it.
I've just sent you the link dot here on the chat for you to handle the investment.
So one other question.
Sure.
So let's say what do you see people doing that leads to success? So let's take 1 or 2 or 10 people and they're showing up. Do you find that there's a gradient of people that are able to actually get traction on YouTube? So in a way, the promise that your school is making to me is something like, you will get traction A to Z. But my experience would be something like, I mean, because of there's a lot of unknowns in that equation. And I understand the school's going to remove a lot of the unknowns, but you still kind of go, okay, this is a business. I will, you're kind of looking for certainty about an income you can't really predict. And it's like, I wonder if my channel is actually going to get traction. I wonder if I'm actually going to find a niche that matches with what I actually know and can present.
Right.
So I would assume the very first part of this is just saying, what does Todd know? Or what can Todd do that would be relevant to a wider audience? And so I definitely have it's kind of like, it'd be like saying, I'm going to make a business based on everything except I don't know what YouTube actually wants that I can do.
Right. But why do you think we have coaches who know more than you?
Probably because they've done this before, more than
Not
once.
once. They've done
Mhm.
it many times. And
Mhm.
so the reason why we don't want you to figure it out the niche yourself is because they're going to do the research for you and with you on what's the best niche to go based on your experience.
So in terms of me working in the school, my first outcome will be the coaches saying, let us help you research. Here's, give me a list of all the things you currently do,
Yeah,
like what videos do
absolutely.
you made and what are
Absolutely.
your interests? How are you thinking about this? And they would say, here's a great niche.
I'm glad
Here's
you
how
brought this up, Todd, because one of the assignment is also for you to go and find 10 channels and 10 creators who you are interested in on
Oh,
YouTube.
that'd be easy.
I know it will be easy, but it's one of the assignments because we want to know what type of content you consume. That
Yeah,
way
what do I watch the most?
we can extrapolate a niche because remember, the guy who is going to watch your channel is going to be interested in you because you
Mhm.
are telling them something that they are passionate about or they want to
Right,
hear from you. And
right,
so we need to know you first before we go and know your client.
right. So Simone, if I balk right now, which I'm sure you've seen, balk means not buy now. I'm sure you realize the people don't come back probably, right? It's an investment of your time to try to see if this person will take the leap and just do the work and get the result. And so if I now say, oh, you're probably is like, well, you're probably not going to show up again. Isn't that kind of like a marketing truism? Or
I'm not understanding what you said. Can you come again?
it'd be something like me saying, gee, I want to sleep on it. Or, gee, I want to talk to my partner first. And
Okay.
so there's definitely a reason to do it now because it's sealed and make the commitment. And then I'm just sort of like, what would happen if I said, gee, I really still want to talk to my partner, or I really want to make sure they're clear on why I'm doing this. Um,
If they say no, would you still go ahead and do it if you believe that this is right for you? If you
um,
believe this can give you at least $1,000 a month, but your partner says to you, Todd, I don't want you to do this, would you still go ahead and do it?
I don't think they would say no. I think they would just say, like, typical fears are like, oh, you've had problems in the past, whatever. They
Right.
don't, they're risk averse, just like anyone is. Um, but I guess what you're really saying is something like, if you're going to do this, you should just do it and not get too influenced by other people's opinions. Um,
You're doing
because
this
either,
also for your partner, isn't it? You're not doing just for yourself. And so sometimes there is one person who has to have more courage than the other one and take
okay,
a leap of faith. That's what I believe.
let's just say I still want to be able to let's say I want to be able to seal the deal and be able to say if my partner says no, then I should be able to say, okay, that ain't gonna work.
If
But
they say no, let's do this. If they say no, I want you to come on a call with them and I'm going to answer to all their questions.
okay, um, it's worth a shot, Simone. Are you still gonna be available if I ever want to talk to you for any reason?
Absolutely. You have my email. The call is recorded. I'm going to send you the recording.
Okay. I trust what Shane is doing, and my outcome I most want is to be able to have the freedom to travel if I want to. And
Which is what
so,
he's doing
yeah,
also.
exactly.
And
So I'm
so who
willing to
better
take a
than
leap.
someone who is doing it can teach you that?
Yeah, I'm willing to take a leap of faith. So let's do this. So let's
Right.
seal the deal and go for it.
I've sent you the link on the chat.
Okay, I see that.
If you open that, it will redirect to the page for the investment.
Give me a second while I get this all dialed up.
Sure.
Hold on just a second. Um, hmm, okay, so let's get to it. I got the link here. Where'd it go? That's a big chunk of change, isn't
Well, it is, but that's the reason why you are on this call.
it?
If it wasn't, everybody
No, it
would be
wasn't.
here, Todd.
Yeah, it might not be worth it, right? And you got to pay people to show up.
Mm-mm.
Hold on just a second. We're gonna authenticate here. So Simone, what do you think? I mean, just from looking at me, what do you think my niche would be? And this is just sort of like, oh, wonder, I'm just curious. You don't know anything about me.
That's my point, Todd. But what I can say to you is that you could probably be looking at something within health, because I
Interesting.
see
Yeah.
you as a very calm, chill individual, and so you could potentially show people their true potential in life somehow, or even helping them live a meaningful life with. Sometimes it doesn't have to be just about making a bunch of money, or it can just
Sure.
be, you know what, for you to live a better life, you just have to take a bike and go 10 minutes on a ride around your
Yeah,
town.
there you go.
But sometimes we see these things as, oh, I'm not doing enough with my life, or this is not for me, when we should be proud of having these small moments with ourselves, if we can.
Indeed. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think we're on board.
Let me double check and send you a receipt for the payment. What's the best email for me to send that?
Todd.reed@protonmail.com.
Perfect. Congrats.
Thank you.
I
Thanks for
cannot see
putting
you
up with me.
anymore. Cannot see you anymore for some
Oh,
reason.
sorry about that. I was on the thing I turned on. There we
Oh,
go.
I can see you now. All right. So yes, we got the funds. Now I'll send you the receipt for the payment. And do you have time, Todd, for me to onboard you now, or should we reschedule for tomorrow or another day?
How long do you think the onboarding would take?
It really depends on how good you are with technology.
I'm decent. I mean, I'm a technical person.
Right.
You know, right. I mean, I'm already on school and.
Okay, fantastic. Do you have Discord?
Yes. Yeah, I have a Discord account.
Fantastic. Now, it can take as little as 10 minutes. I just need to prepare the agreement for you, send it over, you read through it, and then I'll give you access to everything. Sounds good?
Okay.
You can do it now.
Discord has always been kind of a weird animal to me, but as far as I know, I can get in there and, see any content that I'm allowed
Let's
to.
do this. Let's do this. Meanwhile, I take care of the agreement. Try to log in into your account on Discord if you can.
Okay, let me do that now.
Yeah?
Yep. All right, let's see, Discord. So, am I logged in? Yeah, it's Discord is so weird to me.
Sometimes it is. They ask you for like 3 times to verify yourself and then put a phone number.
It's like I get logged in and then I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell is it doing?
If you can as well, I'm not sure what is your name on there, but I would like you to have your first name and your last name as a profile account.
Okay, let me see if I can. Well, my first name is Todd, T-O-D-D.
Okay.
My last name is Reed, R-E-E-D. So I have an account, and the username on Discord is Bipedalist. That's spelled with a B.
Yeah.
Kind of like a
if you can change your name
Yeah.
That will be great.
The associated email is tlxread@gmail.com.
It doesn't matter the email because I'm gonna send you a link for you to join us directly.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
Okay.
But you have an account and you can log in into that, correct?
Yeah, I'm in it right now.
Okay, perfect. Now I've sent you the agreement as well. Can you have a look at your email address?
Shane Humus DocuSign.
Right.
Congratulations. Content Empire, Heads-on Mentorship, Quality Services, Agreement, Shane Humus, CEO, Todd Reed, Legal Age, Client, Scope, Grease Flag Clients, Growth Engine, Coach Program. I gotta read this before I sign it. I think we should just reschedule so I can read this agreement.
If
And
you
then do
want,
the other.
I don't mind. I can be here for 5 minutes more if you want to.
I just gonna sit down and read it tonight, and I can be available tomorrow or Sunday or whatever is your next available onboarding time.
Should we do tomorrow then?
Tomorrow is fine.
Let me have a look at my calendar and see what time I can book you in. How about we do tomorrow same time as today, Todd?
3 p.m.
It's
Pacific.
11 p.m. my time. I'm not sure what time is it for you.
It was 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, so that's fine. Should I
Yeah.
use the same Zoom link?
I'll generate a new link for you. Don't worry.
Okay, so you're gonna email me a link.
I'll send it to you right now on the chat. Just let me create that for you and we're good to go. Same time, yeah?
Same time is good. I'm gonna print this out and I will have a copy. And I'm gonna talk to my wife and I'm gonna say I already paid for it.
How about we do half an hour before, Todd?
2:30.
Actually, no, forget about it. Let's keep it same time as today. No worry.
Okay, 3 o'clock. It's fine.
I'm gonna
So
send it here in the chat.
okay, I've got
And
the
so it will be easier as well. On the chat, I've sent you a second link. Do you see that? It says
oh, I see in the chat. Hold
Humus
on just a second.
Holding. Okay.
Yeah.
If you can save this, it will be easier for us for tomorrow. Okay. Pin it on your desktop, have it as a bookmark somewhere.
Okay, you
'Cause
made
those
it.
are the steps.
Okay, let me just make a bookmark and
Yeah.
put this
Those are the
here.
steps that we have to follow through tomorrow.
I actually have a folder bookmark for video content creation. So
I can go there.
my folder is going up at the top here, so it's on top. And
I've also sent you the link for tomorrow where you can book yourself. If you do it
okay.
now, we'd be able, both of us, to have a confirmation. And if we don't, we have to understand what's going on because sometimes technology doesn't work properly.
So you're sending me another Calendly link.
That's for tomorrow. If you book
Yeah.
now, we have a link for tomorrow ready and it's on your calendar.
I'm not quite sure. Are you telling me it's already on my calendar?
No. You have to go ahead and book yourself.
Oh, you mean just go back to the same calendar and make a new booking?
I've sent you on the chat a new link.
Oh, on the chat. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, chat. Where is it? Chat. Okay, third link.
Correct. Now, you will only be able to see one availability for tomorrow on the
Got
calendar.
it, Saturday. And that is
Correct.
3 o'clock.
Correct.
And next. Sorry, when you say chat, to me it sounds like chart. So you kept saying look on the chart, and I was like, chart?
Yeah,
What chart?
I'm sorry. My accent is what it is.
Are you from France?
No, I'm originally from Albania, which is a
Oh,
small
wow.
country in East Europe, but I was born and raised in Italy.
Oh, wow, interesting. I've been reading about how beautiful Albania is.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, what a wonderful place. Okay, share anything. Well, we don't need to do that. Todd Reed, Photon Mail, schedule event. Okay, I think I'm there.
Done. Let
Yep.
me have a look at your email if you got confirmation, because I have it on my side.
I got my receipt, and there's my invitation. So yes, I do have it.
Amazing. Now, I'll talk to you tomorrow. In the meantime, what I'll do, as soon as the call ends, the system is going to generate a recording.
Okay.
I'm going to send that over to you so you can watch it with your wife. Tomorrow, you can just send that to her for her to
Okay,
watch.
Simone. Thank you for your time.
That sounds good? Okay.
Yep, so good.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow, Todd. You stay safe.
Okay. Yeah, you too.